What is going on, Atlanta Falcons fans, man? Y'all know who it is. Your boy Antoine Smith stopping in right quick to give y'all my quick thoughts on a Twitter post that I saw by Mr. Chad Forbes. Um, it concerns Drake London and his future in Atlanta, and I've been saying for a while that I think Drake London is one of those guys you have to think about moving because guess what? If you want Kyle Pitts back and you pay him before you pay Drake, it's going to be a problem. And Kyle Pitts is going to be significantly a lot cheaper than Drake London. And to me, he's just a total mismatch. And I think I want to say he was a far superior talent, but for his position and what he means as far as controlling the line of scrimmage, controlling the middle of the field, and being a walking mismatch, I just think Kyle Pitts makes more sense. But here's what Chad Forbes had to say. Falcons only have 5 picks in the 26th draft. New regime needs to figure out what players to retain long term. Make logical sense to extend Bijan and Matthew Bergeron. I agree with that 100% because that offensive line is going to be key going forward for Bijan and for the future quarterback, no matter who that may be. But he then says, see what Drake London could fetch for a trade. And I know a lot of us don't want to hear that, but let's be real. You can't pay everybody. And I told y'all from the jump, I would have took Garrett Wilson over Drake London. And don't get me wrong, Drake London is a superior talent. But guess what? This is a wide receiver heavy draft. So if you trade him right now, you could possibly get somebody, you could possibly get a first round pick for him and get that first round pick back and possibly get a 4th or a 5th round pick to go along with that. But let's finish this off. Set to play in 26 on a 5th year option. Turns 25 this summer and would return real value. And that's the thing, man. When you return value as a player in a trade, everything's got to be on the table, and that's why I told y'all from the jump, nobody's safe. And the NFL is a business at the end of the day. What if you get a first round pick and a 4th or a 5th round pick for Drake London? Would you make that move with a wide receiver heavy draft? I think so. You look at guys like Chris Purcell from Tennessee, who's probably going to be there at the bottom of the first. And I'm going to say the bottom of the first because I think the Browns need a number 1 receiver. I think the Bills need a receiver for Josh Allen. Their teams from the from the 20s all the way up to the end of the first that need wide receivers. And I think the top wide receivers, I think the first 3 or 4 could be gone by the 20th spot. So when you start looking at that next tier, those teams can reach out to Atlanta, say, hey, what you want with Drake London? I'll give you my 1st and maybe a 5th, or it could be a 1st this year and maybe a 3rd next year. Who knows? But you got to take advantage of these trades while you can. But don't get me wrong. I would love to see Drake stay in the Atlanta Falcons for his entire career. But when you look at the dynamic of what they're trying to do, they want Kyle Pitts to come back. And like I said, you can't keep everybody. But also, think about other wide receivers, and we talk about Zachariah Branch. He may be there in the 2nd round. And that, you saw what happened. We got a trade that we used to take Xavier Watts last year. So those extra draft picks could come in handy, and Ian Cunningham is one of those guys. Likes to trade back. What if you get a 1st round pick for Drake London, trade back, get 2 to 3 more picks? So I mean, it's a dynamic that we should think about. And if we're going to build this team the right way and build a team that they want, we absolutely should think about trading Drake London, even though he's a fan favorite. Anything is on the line when you're building a new team, especially, trading some of your key players. And it happens sometimes. But you still will have Bijan if Pitts comes back and you pay him what you want him to have. I think it's going to be less than what Drake London is going to be, because I'm telling y'all, Drake London is going to be anywhere from 30 to 35 million. Kyle Pitts is going to be half that. And the other half that you would spend on Drake London, you could use that building this team up the right way and continue to build a strong core. And we can restructure contracts, true enough. But, not having to pay a crazy amount of money to players, I just think it makes the most sense. But Drake London, Chad Forbes thinks the Atlanta Falcons should think about trading him on the 5th year option. What do you think? Y'all know what to do, man. Drop them comments in the comment box and let's debate. Let's have fun. Y'all know how we do it on the Sports Machine. This your boy Antoine Smith signing off. I will holler at y'all soon, man. Peace.